If you'd like to get 100 free coins, you can go to haps.tv/at the @ sign Queen Tina, sign up, and you can get 100 free coins. I think they're still doing the 100 free coins. They've not changed that. So for right now, that's what that says. So you guys can get 100 free coins to give to other people. I don't ask that you give them to me because I don't think I need them. I don't think I deserve them because all I do is just talk to you guys. I don't have a platform of anything that I need to stand on. Now, today we're going to be talking about something that's a little controversial. I don't want anybody to get mad at me. I don't want anybody to be mad at me about this because I'm a little bit upset. I understand that Juneteenth is supposed to be a very important day. It's when slaves were freed. I get that, right? I get that. But what happened to our American Indian brothers and sisters? Where are their holidays? I'm only saying this because who's fighting for their rights? Who's standing up and fighting for their rights? And I feel like the only reason this was done was to placate the masses from everything that's happened. Is that going to make things better? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to make anything any better. I think things are still as volatile as they have been. I don't think making Juneteenth Day a day is going to make anything any difference. Freeing slaves was a great thing. Hey, Sonny, I think that was a great thing, and it was a wonderful day. But how's that? How is that going to placate or make things better for the people today? That's my question. You know, my ancestors were marched off their land on the Trail of Tears and sent to reservations. Where are their reparations? And people say, oh, well, they're living on reservations and they have casinos. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really? You want to say that that's their reparations? Because they get casinos? This was their land that we live on today. It was all of their land. And name me one Native American holiday. Name me one. Just one that we celebrate today. That's what's sad to me. It truly breaks my heart that we've forgotten whose land we live on. I mean, it really bothers me. And I'm not negating that, the black people's plight, but they weren't even here. The black people were brought over on boats from other countries. My ancestors were here before they were even brought over. And it's like, why? And you know why the indigenous population doesn't say anything is because they're afraid what they have will be taken away from them. That's the fear they live under. That's the fear they live under. And it sickens me. It really does. It sickens me that they've lived all these years on reservations, doing what they do, living the way they live, because the white man decided that they were going to take over their land. And I'm half Caucasian. I'm not fully half Native American, but my Caucasian half hates to death that that's what happened to my ancestors. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I cannot change what happened to my brothers and sisters in the past, but can I make it better for the present? Yeah, there should be more Native American things done. We should know more about our Native American peoples, especially where we live. How often are you taught indigenous Native American stuff in school? I was never taught. I was taught very little about our indigenous peoples, very little. We should have been taught that more, other than, oh, they come over on boats and this is what happened on the Trail of Tears. We should have been taught in depth about their life, their way of living, who they were as a people, blah, blah, blah. We're not taught that. We're taught things in school nowadays that are just simply not necessary to. What I'm getting at is they want to say things like the Holocaust didn't exist, the Holocaust didn't happen. Things like that need to be taught because it most certainly did happen. The plight of the Native American happened. Yes, slavery happened. They teach that, but they gloss over so much of it that it doesn't sink in, I don't think. And so there's kids nowadays that are born and coming up and they're thinking, that stuff didn't really happen. It happened, people. If you live in the western side of the United States, you know that the Native Americans live on reservations out toward the west. They don't even live on the eastern seaboard. They don't live anywhere near the eastern seaboard except in like North Carolina. There's still some people that, some tribal people that stayed behind or that moved back to actually do their craft in North Carolina, South Carolina. And there's some that are moving back a little by little, but they have to live and work on their own. They don't get support from the government like they do on the reservations. You have to keep your mouth shut. And this is what bothers me. They are given table scraps. Oh, and they're given casinos. I'm sorry, guys, don't even go there with me, because to me, that is like paltriness. That's like walking up and saying, can I have a little salt? And you just give them a granule. These people deserved way more than what they got. And so I'm not negating the fact that Juneteenth was an important day. I just think that we've glossed over the Native Americans. Hey, Kayla Burb. I just think that we need to be respectful of all peoples that were here, not just the slavery, but also the Native American that lived here before. So if they're going to make Juneteenth a day, how about let's do something for the Native American men and women that lived here? How about making a day for them? Because those people were here long before slavery was ever here, and long before we were here as Caucasian men and women were here, and there's nothing done. Like, there's not a national holiday for our Native Americans. So I ask you guys, don't you think that's important? Do you not think that that is important as well? And I think, like I said, I think it's just to placate people of color. And I'm not saying that to be ugly. I'm saying that because of the times that we live in, they're doing things to placate the people of color right now because they're afraid that something else is going to happen. I don't mean to be ugly about it, but I'm just trying to be as honest as I can be, because you guys know me. You know, I live in the South, and the South used to be extremely racial. If you came down to Tennessee back when my grandparents were growing up, no, ma'am. But we broke, like, my age, when I was growing up, we broke the mold in saying, no, you're being racist when you say this. Do not say that. Please don't say that. That's very racist. I love everybody. I love everybody, no matter what color you are, purple, green, orange, black, blue, green. I don't care. But it's when the government starts playing favorites. Yes, the white man has had holidays up the wazoo. I get that. But you totally left out the American Indians. Where's their day? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just asking, where is that day? Where is that day for the people, the men and women that died on the Trail of Tears? Where is that day for the people that gave up their life to have to move off their land to go be put in reservations, to go be put in places that they didn't even know anything about? Some of these people had lived on the East Coast for years and didn't know anything about. What are you doing? I don't know. This thing's been, sorry, I'm having issues with my audio. Some of these Indians, some of the American Indians that they put on the Trail of Tears, they'd never even seen the West Coast. They'd never even been out toward the West. They moved them from the East Coast to the West Coast. And they had no idea where they were going. So if somebody picked you up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden made you walk from here, from where you live, to 20 states over, and I'm not exaggerating, they walked it. They walked. When I say the Trail of Tears, they called it the Trail of Tears because of how many people died. Do your history. So many people died. They lost family. They lost loved ones. The older folk died on this walk. Babies died because of the weather. Pregnant women died because they couldn't handle it. The soldiers kept pushing them on because it's like, listen, we got to go. We got to get you there. They didn't care. It's sad. So I just want you guys to think about that. Next time somebody says we need a new holiday, how about thinking about our Native Americans? How about thinking about our Native Americans and what they mean to us? Because this land I'm sitting on right now belonged to the Native Americans, not me. It didn't belong to me as an American citizen. It didn't belong to me. Our indigenous people, who are the Native Americans, the ones that were here before we were, it belonged to them. They had the rights to live here, not us. We could have coexisted. We could have coexisted with those people, but our government didn't want to do that. Our government wanted to come over and take it over. They didn't want to share. They didn't want to share. That's your government. That's your government. So when you get something given to you, like a day called Juneteenth, you have to wonder why. So that's all I wanted to say. And I know it's going to be a very unpopular opinion. I'm sorry if it offends you. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying that I'm totally offended at the fact that they make a day for people that, for the day that slavery was stopped. What about the day that they murdered millions of Indians? I'm just saying. I understand that, Caleb. I'm extremely offended because it hurts me that my ancestors were just completely, they're not thought about at all. And they don't want to be. And that's the thing. They want to be as low on the radar as they can be because They don't want anything to mess up what they have, because they don't have a lot. They barely have anything, and that's what's so sad. That's what's so sad. Our government just gives them crumbs, and they expect them to just live with what they have. And everybody says, well, oh, they've got the casinos to live off of. Well, you know what? When the government gives you a place to live and they say this is where you're going to live, and I mean to tell you guys, they put them in. I don't think you guys understand when I tell you that they put them on reservations. They were put on places with gates. Now, let me just tell you, it wasn't like a concentration camp, but they were put in camps where they had to stay. They were not allowed to leave. Great government, wasn't it? But the kicker is they had to walk there first. They had to walk all that way. And then they were pinned up in these reservations. Some pinned up along other tribes that they did not get along with. I mean, can you imagine? Tribes that never even saw each other meeting for the first time, and some that didn't even get along, pinned up in the same area. What that did to these tribes. I mean, you just have to think about that for a minute. And I wasn't there, but can you only imagine what that did to the tribe leaders, and what that did to how many people they lost along the way, and what that did to the leaders, the chiefs of those families. Some of the chiefs didn't even make it. They were losing chiefs, and they were losing family members. And the way that they deal with chiefs is as they come up, their children become the next chieftain, and they didn't have time, I'm sure, to say, here's, this is what I'm passing down to you. You got to think about it, guys. There's so much majorly going on then. They didn't even have time. So I just wanted to let y'all chew on that for a little while, because I think our Native Americans deserve a day. I'm just saying. That's the least he could do. If he's going to do anything, if he's going to make Juneteenth a day, then our Native Americans deserve something. So how about somebody start a, what is it? Can't think. And you guys know me. I can't think of the word. You have to do signatures. What is it? You have to, somebody help me, because I can't think of the word. Somebody needs to start one of those and see if we can get enough signatures to have it sent to the White House, to have a day made for our Native American families, Native American peoples, to recognize them. Can't think of what the name of it is. Petition. Somebody needs to start a petition to create a day for our Native American brothers and sisters. And we need to get that petition signed by as many people as we can. I was saying that we need to get a petition started on, there's a petition, it's called petition.org, I think it is. And we need to get a petition started. Of course, I would need to talk to some Native Americans before I did any of this. So if any of y'all are Native American out there, they even see this, contact me. I'll put my email address down here. If any of y'all are Native American, or any other, like if y'all are Native American and y'all would like to be recognized, send me an email with your tribal name, your with the tribe, with your chief's name, like, so I can verify who you are, and like some way for me to contact you, and we will start a petition somehow. I'd like to get, I'd like to get several tribes, consent. I don't want to start a petition just, on my own, but I think that, if we had enough pushback from the indigenous people, that we could get a day started for them, because I think it's only right. I think our indigenous people need a day of their own. That's my opinion. Maybe not be a popular opinion, but I think our indigenous people deserve one just as well. So that's all I wanted to say today. I know that it may not be something you all wanted to hear, but that's all I've got for y'all today. I'm still not feeling 100%. I was really sick last night. I was so nauseous all night last night, and just really not feeling 100%, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. I'm not as sick in my stomach, but my arm feels like a mule has kicked me. It's not as sore all the way down my arm today. It was sore, like they gave me my injection up here, and it's not sore up here, but it is mega sore from here all the way down to the middle of my arm. So it's still sore somewhat, but not as sore as it was. So, but I'm doing okay. Haven't got a super bad headache right now, so it's kind of like laying there. So I love you guys. Sorry. I didn't sleep well. But I love you all. I love you all very much. If you'd like to give me your ideas or your thoughts on a petition to have the Native Americans have a day, email me at queentina@yahoo.com, xqueentinax@yahoo.com, and let me know. I love you guys. I'm going to go because I think my mom's calling. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.